Today, I have a message that I feel is important to share, and the theme of this message is outcasts. Okay, there is a specific type of outcast that I want to talk about today, but the idea of an outcast can apply to any kind of situation where you find yourself on the outside not being accepted in your true authenticity. I just really feel like I need to share this also as part of my own healing, because I think I just realized this morning, I think I just realized this morning one of the things that had an impact on why I stopped singing for a period of time, and why possibly I lost my confidence, and it was not the right thing to do for me, because I love singing, and it's very helpful to me. It brings me joy. It helps me to feel comfortable in my own body, because there are, when you sing or even when you speak, there's vibration, right? And that vibration, that energy moves throughout your body. And especially with singing is like a fuller, it's often more a more full, stronger experience, like when you're actually holding notes, and that vibration lasts longer, and you feel it, right? Like you can feel it, and it feels really good, it feels relaxing, it feels soothing. I think it does for most of us, whether you think you sound good or not, or whether other people think you sound good or not. There's like healing that happens when we speak and when we sing. And this is something that has, I think, bothered me for many years. The idea that we have in society, the idea that only certain people can speak, only certain people can sing, like we don't give permission to others or even to ourselves to sing, to speak, to sing our truths, and to be free in expression that way. I mean, we want to, I think we all want to think that we do that we allow that in our society, but we don't. It's very apparent that that's not the case. I think in theory we think we do, but in reality, in the way that we witness everything around us, suggests that it is left only in theory, and that that's not what we're seeing. We are not seeing the acceptance and and it's not being taught. It's not being taught that it's okay to speak your truth, or it's not being taught that it's okay to sing even if other people don't like the way you sound, and maybe even you yourself, maybe you don't like the way you sound, because often that's because you're comparing yourself, your voice, to others around you, and especially to those who have been heralded and put up on platforms, pedestals, whatever you want, thrones, as this is what singing is, this is what speaking is, this is how it's acceptable. Anything else is not acceptable, and don't even try. If you can't get to the level of this kind of perfection, then the message that we get, which is very destructive. I really feel this deeply. This is very destructive. The message that we get is to stop. Don't do it. If you can't even get close to this ideal perfection in how you express through music or through speaking, and I think they're both very, very much linked. And this could go for writing. This could go for other things as well. Your art. Let's say you like to draw or paint or do something creative. If it doesn't look like someone else's that we have put up on a pedestal and said, this is the standard of, beauty. This is what we accept as worthy of our attention, worthy of our applause, worthy of value, of enjoyment. It's really sad. It's really, really sad that we do this to ourselves, that we've done this to our society. There's many other cultures in the world where they don't have this construct. Everybody just, they have communal singing. They have people, talking, sharing stories, it's not restricted the way it is in our society. And that restriction has overwhelming effects on our progression in our lives. Whether we believe that or not, it is very true that stifling of the light that is within each of us, when we are silenced because somebody else doesn't like the way we do something or the way we express, and it doesn't look like the rest of the group or individuals that are doing it at the level that we have standardized, or even at the professional level of something. This is really sad, because we're teaching our children from a very young age to squash their dreams, to silence themselves, and to conform to someone else's ideas of what is okay and how you're supposed to express yourself. And it takes away our individual, well, it takes away our individuality. It takes away our personal power of expressing in the way that only we can express, because we each have our own unique voice, like our fingerprints. We have our own, our own fingerprints that are not like anyone else's. And our voices are like that as well. Even though sometimes we may sound like somebody else, it is not the same thing as having the exact voice, because your voice is not just what we hear. Your voice is the energy that comes with it, everything behind that voice. So I feel like this video is going to be long, and I'm sorry for that. This message is so important, though. I just feel so strongly that I need to give this message. I want to say that there have been a lot of casualties of people whose growth has been stunted, has been stopped, because their voices have been silenced. They have been mostly unintentionally taught that unless, like I said before, unless you sound a certain way, or unless you paint or draw, or whatever it is you like to do that feels like a whole exciting and like feels like it's you, like in your authentic self expressing, and it feels like it just wants to flow out of you. Whatever it is, whatever that is for you, the casualty is when something comes into your life, or you get a message from the world that tells you that that is not okay, and that your expression is wrong, and it's not the one that society wants to see. And so you squash, you stuff it back down, and it's squashed. It's just, you're silenced, you're defeated, and you don't feel valued and loved for who you are. And so then you start conforming to what society tells you is okay. And then you start to learn those patterns, and then you start to do that with other things in your life. And the conforming part that I'm talking about, maybe it didn't start with the squashed dream, or the squashed expression of self. Maybe it didn't start there, but it does come in to play at some point. Okay. So when we tell our children, or we tell other people or adults or anybody that, oh yeah, yeah, it doesn't sound very good, or our family is not musical, or our family we don't do that, we don't sing, because we don't sound good, okay, in our family. That's really sad when that happens, and I have seen that love and accept people exactly as they are in the way that they feel is their true expression, then we are doing them the biggest disservice ever, because we're stunting their growth. The other thing that we're doing is we're stunting the growth of our society. And we are missing out on the beauty that can come from seeing somebody else's full expression and witnessing how beautiful they are. When you see a flower, when you walk outside and you see a bush, a rose bush or something, and it has many flowers on it, do you look for the perfect flower? Or do you just see the beauty in all of the flowers? Do you see how each flower in its bloom is the fullest expression of itself, and how beautiful that is? And they all look different. They all look like roses, but they do not look identical, because they don't express themselves the same. They express themselves in their own way, and we can enjoy each flower, each person. We can enjoy each person that way. We don't have to place value on people because of what we think is the standard or the acceptable expression. Okay, I want to now talk about a movie that I think had a great impact on me. I have loved singing since I was 6 years old. Well, before that, but especially from around age 6. That's when I first got on a stage and sang in public. Well, at least that's the first time I can remember. I think it may have happened before that too, but it was the first time that I sang where my voice was heard and the attention was on my voice. I sang a duet with somebody at 6 years old, and although I ended up laughing through most of it because it was just, I felt like the situation was really funny to me, the experience was very liberating, even at that young age, because it awakened a dream in me that I could express myself and I could enjoy myself in that way, even if it didn't turn out exactly like was expected, because like I said, I ended up laughing through a lot of it, but the audience loved it. They had a good laugh. Okay, I want to talk about a movie. I love movies. My last video, I talked about movies, but this came into my mind today as I was thinking about Outcasts and what I'm talking about with singing and even speaking and other expressions. This movie, Florence Foster Jenkins, came out in 2016. All right, I don't know if you've seen this. I don't know how well this movie did, but I loved it. It was funny. It was heartfelt. There was a lot of it was tender in some moments, very tender, because this is, this is based on a real person that lived, um, and had a dream of singing opera music, and she just enjoyed it so much, and she was wealthy, and so she had to her disposal a lot of resources, and she also had people in her life, because most likely because of her wealth, that played along with her, and excuse me, played along with her and did all the things in support of her, because that's what her dream was. And so they helped her realize her dream. She wanted ultimately to sing in Carnegie Hall, and she did accomplish that. I don't really want to spoil the movie for you. I just think it's a very powerful movie, but maybe it won't spoil it, because there's a lot of, it's worth watching. But one of the things that I want to say how this affected me was, while I was watching it, I was enjoying it so much, and I was enjoying the struggle that she was having with her singing lessons, and how, she kept going, and she kept, doing her best, and she was enjoying it. And others around her seemed to not quite enjoy it as much as she did. And then but they supported her, especially her husband. Her husband really supported her, and like, although he was cheating on the side, but there's a lot of humor in this movie. When she got to Carnegie Hall, when she became in the public eye, like, had an audience that came and watched her, and I think after that performance, I think she realized what everyone else actually thought of her, and it was very, very eye-opening for her, and I think it really impacted her. And this story really impacted me too, because when I watched this, after I watched it, before I watched this, I had so much confidence. So much confidence in expressing myself through music, through singing. I didn't know I was gonna cry. I'm really glad that I watched this though, because I wouldn't have this lesson today if I hadn't watched this. I started questioning and feeling like the people around me my whole life have just been like her husband, okay? Supporting me, because they love me. But I started questioning if the way I hear myself if in my head, I hear myself in a way that's beautiful to me, but not to others. And I started to feel like this woman in the movie, that the love of what I do, the love of singing, and the way it makes me feel is not good enough, and that it's only good enough if everyone else agrees with you. It's only good enough if other people find your expression beautiful. And I feel this way about my art and about everything in my life. I feel in many ways that society is very harmful in the way that we value, the way we place value on people because of certain ideas that we have standardized. And there's no room for growth. There's no room for exploration of self. There's no room for love of self, because the world has taught us not to love ourselves and not to love other people. That's exactly what they've taught. But they've laced it with the idea that they're teaching you the opposite, that they are teaching you to love, that they are teaching you to support people. But they are not. They are teaching us to only support those who fit in the box. They're not teaching us to support every person on this planet. They're not teaching us to value the individual and to love the individual. There's only love and value if you meet certain criteria. But they don't want to show you that. They want you to think that they want you to think that they are doing it the right way, and that you should too. But I'm here to tell you that's wrong. Or maybe I don't want to say wrong. That's misinformed. It's incomplete. It's an incomplete way of doing something. If you are stifling someone else's light, if you're dimming someone else's light that comes from their soul, then you're darkening the world. And we want to illuminate. We want the light. We want to see everyone in their truth, in their beauty. We do want that. We just have been programmed to not want that. So, because of this movie and the teachings of society throughout my life. I stopped singing for a period of time because I lost my confidence. I lost my drive to do it. And I started being really self-conscious about how I sound. When I thought that I was improving and getting better, and I actually was. But seeing that movie like awakened my doubts again. And so I completely shut down. I shut down my voice. That's like cutting off your arm. And then energetically, I started having thyroid issues after that. I was having a lot of, and then other issues as well. But I mean, I had already had some health issues before this, so. But it definitely, the thyroid issues became more of a problem. Because I closed off my throat chakra, and I closed off my heart. I closed off my heart too, and I had to keep trying to open those, and sometimes I would get a little moment where I could open it up and I could express and I could feel what I needed to feel, but then they'd close up again because I was still in the programming that has been perpetuated. So I think my message is to see singing and art and all the things that people are doing around you as expressions of themselves, and see them and look for the beauty in that. Look for that beauty. Find the beauty, because it's there. But take off your filter that society placed on you. Take that off and see it in its truth. Each of us are beautiful gifts to this world. Each of us with our own unique expression in any way is beautiful. It's a beautiful gift. And it's valued. It's valuable just because it's yours. And don't let others squash you or silence your voice. If you love to do something, keep doing it. Keep doing it. If you love it and it brings you joy, keep doing it. Don't listen to the voices that, or the people, or the constructs. Don't listen to the things that tell you to not do what feels so natural and brings you so much joy, and it feels like magic to you. Do not let someone else silence you. Be you in your authentic self. Be you. Accept it, embrace it. And even if it doesn't look like the way someone else expresses, don't worry about that. Just be you. That's all we are here to do. We're only here to express and be ourselves, and to love ourselves, and to love others in their authenticity and their individual expressions. That's all we're here to do. So, let me give you another example of why I think that this is true. People who learn to walk. Let's say, a baby starts walking. We don't place value on how they're walking. We are just so excited because they've learned something new, and they have a new ability and a way to get around for themselves, and a way to start exploring their world and expressing themselves. We are so happy for them. We don't, most of us don't make fun of the baby and then tell them not to walk. I mean, we don't. We support them, right? We even hold their hand and we walk with them, and we praise them and clap for them and tell them they're doing a great job. But you wouldn't compare this baby who just learned how to walk, you would not compare this baby to an athlete who can run, I don't know, like an Olympic athlete who can run a race at lightning speed. You're not going to compare the two, and you're not going to expect that everybody does that, right? We're not going to expect that. All we do is accept what is. We accept that baby in their very first steps. We accept them, we love them, we help them, we hold their hand, we praise them, and we just encourage them to keep going. And yes, keep going, it's beautiful, you can do this. Well, that is exactly what I'm talking about. That is exactly what we need to do for each other in any kind of expression that we're witnessing in someone else. We need to do that for each other, and we need to do that for ourselves, and not buy into the lies that have been perpetuated for so long. We are beautiful, amazing people having this earthly experience, and I think if we could see who we really are, we would be so amazed at how wonderful we each are. And so please love yourself. Love your full expression. Don't silence yourself. Don't silence others. Love them, help them, serve them. Everybody help each other. I mean, that's all we're here to do. Love and help each other. And enjoy the expression that we get to witness of everyone around us. It is beautiful. We're all flowers in the field. We're all flowers in the field, and each of us looks different. But that's okay, because that beautiful field that we look at, when we see it, it brings us so much joy. And then when we get up close and we look at each flower, we still feel so much joy because it's so beautiful, whether we're zooming in or zooming out. It's so beautiful. So see the beauty. See the beauty in every person. See the beauty in yourself, because it's there. If you want to do something, if you feel very alive, if you feel alive when you do something, maybe it's singing, maybe it's painting, maybe it's playing basketball, whatever it is, it could be anything. Maybe you like programming, maybe like computers, who knows, whatever it is that makes you happy, do that. Stop giving away your power and do the things that bring you that glowing light that you feel in your soul. Do those things that just feel natural and the most fulfilling to you. Don't give away your power anymore. Don't buy into the lies. You are enough, just as you are. And you are loved, just as you are. That's all I have to say. And I hope you guys have a good day. I love you.